Mistakes are going to happen. Here's the 3 things I focus on to correct them.
Hey, you guys, I just got my podcast up on Apple Podcasts. It would mean so much to me if you could go give me a follow and write a review. Thank you so much and enjoy the episode.
Hey, you guys, welcome back to the Magness Mogul Podcast. My name is Jonah Magness. I own and operate martial arts studios, and we are here to talk about things that I've done to help myself and some of my friends. Today, we're going to go over the 3 things that I do when mistakes happen in the business, whether it's a perceived mistake or an actual mistake, something that fell through the cracks because of communication. We're going to go over exactly what I do and my mindset behind how to correct those mistakes to hopefully turn those customers from unhappy into 5-star reviews and always with us for the rest of their lives. Disney has this rule that I read about for when a tragic incident happens at the park or something like that. They teach their entire team that their goal is 37 magic moments to make up for it, which I think is awesome. And I definitely don't do 37 magic moments to make up for any mistake that happens in my business, but it's the mindset of that is what I try and teach my team and exactly how I approach when something happens in the business. The first thing I focus on is that refunds are the minimum starting point. A refund or some sort of equivalent is where you have to start, in my opinion, because then we're taking, in this case, money off the table. So that way, the unhappy customer, the client, the family, doesn't have to worry about like, oh, will I get my money back? No, I'd rather just start there. So when we have the conversation, it's going to lead us into what actually happened or what was expected to happen that didn't happen. When we're having these conversations, my mentality behind it is that I believe most situations are just an expectation was set that either wasn't met or they set expectations in their heads that wasn't exactly what would have ever been possible. So that it wasn't framed very well when they were brought onto the program. And through the conversation that we have after we take money off the table, I'm able to start seeing where the actual problem lies so that way we can get into the next step. The second thing that I focus on is making sure that the family understands that I care about the problem as much as, if not more than them, and that I want to give it resolved as quickly as possible. As the owner, something either happened that wasn't supposed to or something didn't happen that was supposed to, and I need to make it my priority to correct that problem and improve upon it, as well as make sure that mistake doesn't ever happen again, whether it was something that didn't happen or something that did happen that shouldn't have. And it's on me, whether it is actually my team's fault or whatever. I didn't train them well enough to make sure it never was going to happen, or I just fell short in my communication with them of what the expectation actually was. And so, as the owner, I need to take responsibility of that and communicate that to the family, that I care about not only fixing their situation, but preventing it from ever happening down the road. And when I'm preventing it from ever happening down the road and correcting it for the family, I want to make sure I go above and beyond what I believe their expectation would be a proper correction, what the expected correction would be. The third focus I have is going above and beyond for when I'm correcting the situation and trying to make it right with the family. After having that conversation with them, once we took money off the table and already told them they're getting a refund no matter what, then I can get to the root of the problem and I'm able to go about actually providing them more value than they would have ever expected in terms of fixing the problem and creating a better solution for the overall outcome. Because once I'm attacking the real issue, then that really gives me the ability to go above and beyond in terms of giving them an additional program, not only giving them the month free, but maybe setting up weekly one-on-one lessons or setting up weekly calls so that I can check in and make sure everything's going all right, or all of the above. Have the one-on-one lessons, they get the month for free, and I'm going to be checking in with them every couple of weeks on the phone, making sure everything's going all right. And then I get to bring it all back of what happened, what I did, and what I'm doing to solve it to my team so that way they can understand my mindset behind it and then they can hopefully gain the abilities to understand what the mistake was so that way we prevent it down the road, as well as how I, as the owner, took action to make sure that the clients were as happy as possible with the outcome. Bonus tip number 4 is teaching your team how to do it, making sure they understand where their powers are, where their powers lie in terms of what they can give away, what they can provide in terms of different upset scenarios, like a mishandled charge, a mishandled lesson, a lesson that was scheduled and the instructor decided or forgot to show up, or whatever it is. Teaching the team of what they can give away as a freebie in terms of making the client happy on the spot. Because if the team knows what to do, then it will skip the step of having to go get a hold of me or the other owners. Bonus tip number 4 is teaching the team how to handle the situation. Giving my team some freebies that they can give away, or knowing and understanding the steps that I took to solve the problem will really help in terms of skipping the step of having to go get me or one of the other owners to solve unhappy customers there, because and anybody on my team will be able to jump on it right in the moment and just solve the problem faster. And that definitely will create a better customer experience, in my opinion. What I always do when a mistake happens is first we take money off the table. Start with a refund so that we can have a real conversation with the customer. Then we go into making sure that during that real conversation, we find out what expectation wasn't met, whether it was something that should have happened but didn't, or something that did happen that shouldn't. I want to make sure that the family, the client, understands that I care about the problem as much as they do, if not more, because I not only want to fix their problem, but make sure it never happens again. And of course, after I know what the real issue is, then I go above and beyond the expectations of the customer, hopefully, to service them back and provide enough value in excess of correcting the mistake. And finally, I take that all back to my team to help teach them how to handle it on their own and prevent it from ever happening again. Share this with someone who wants to have their team start correcting mistakes on their own. Like this video, subscribe for more small business tips, and check out the rest of the videos on my playlist. Peace.